how came about this design, right? Especially like my client look for me, then they're looking for those kind of brutalist concept and things like that. So when I look through the layout, everything just came to my head. How I want to be, what kind of texture that I'm going for, and it just come naturally into my head. I do look at Pinterest, and usually how I got my ideas is when I travel, I catch those kind of attention details. I want to be as organic as possible, my own vision, and I trust my vision. Hi, I'm Vincent. I'm an interior consultant for this house. So this is a farm apartment. It's about 100 square meter and located in Geylang. And when I first saw the floor plan, there's a good few things that I know how I want to play around in this layout. So I immediately knew that I wanted to pull in as much natural light as possible. So I started thinking about how shadows would be cast, how the lights would shift throughout the day. So this unit had a dumbbell layout, one bedroom at one side. The first thing I thought, what if we hack this wall to open up the spaces? As a designer myself, we have to take a risk, and honestly, once that wall was gone, the entire space just opened up, the living space. Most people try to hide bomb shelters, and bomb shelters are always these awkward, bulky things that people always use as a storeroom, but I wanted to integrate it into a design. That's where the circular cutouts came in. They softened the brutalist look and actually tied in with other circular elements around the home and the barn door details in the master bedroom. The concrete feature wall in the living room is one of those bold design moves that we made where you just have to trust the process. Instead of perfectly smooth, polish the surface, we went for something more raw, organic and unpredictable, slowly hammering away at the concrete. And the result is a wall that feels like, it has history, it adds depth and maturity to the space. Since the homeowners love hosting, I wanted to create a space that naturally encouraged people to gather. I designed a bay window style sitting area, sculpted into architecture so it feels like it was always meant to be there. It doesn't just frame the view but also makes the space feel more immersive, almost like the home is inviting people to settle in. By integrating this built-in seating, the space feels more communal. Usually people tend to put their TV at a corner, but that's quite predictable. So I decided to place it in the middle of the room, slightly offset, and that does something interesting. It also creates an illusion of depth. When you sit on the sofa, it plays with a perspective, making the space feels bigger than it actually is. In the dining room, instead of going with a standard smooth finish, we use knife to carve out the cement plaster to give out the texture and creating an organic and almost sculpture kind of feel. The irregular strokes give the walls a sense of movement, the space itself has been shaded over time rather than just built. Lighting is everything. In the dining area, we took our time picking the right piece that adds warmth but still feels raw. So we chose the walnut dining table to really bring a warm depth to the raw brutalist aesthetic. Its grains and deep tone contrast against the concrete texture around the wall just to soften the industrial feels a little bit. It positioned under the pendant light that becomes a natural focal point, and the size was carefully chosen, large enough for gathering but not overwhelming, making it both functional and sculptural. So for the kitchen, I kept the upper part open. Why? Because when you build too much on top, the kitchen starts to feel a bit small, especially a formal apartment like this. And for a concept like this, that's the last thing I want to do. There's a cutout above the hood that makes the ceiling feels higher and also fits the cooker hood nicely as well. It's a small thing, but it's also changed the way the space feels. So for the study room, we didn't do much here, just painted the ceiling black. Why? Because you can't go wrong with black. It makes the room feel more intimate and more grounded. The common and master bathrooms share a similar design language, but we play with the temperature of the materials to create a subtle yet impactful duality between the two spaces. One leans towards warmer tones, using materials that feels more inviting and relaxed, while the other embraces cooler, and also more serene tones for a sense of calm. This temperature contrast between the rooms does more than just look interesting. It creates a dynamic flow between the space. It's one of those kind of subtle differences that makes each room feel distinct, while still maintaining a cohesive overall design. Barn doors are certainly more space efficient, but what really made them the perfect choice was the way they created a continuous design link with the bomb shelter area. The open wardrobe in the master bedroom was intentional choice to keep the space feeling raw and honest. No doors, just the clothes and items on display is a reflection of the owner's lifestyle. A way to embrace the space as it is without unnecessary barriers or distractions. The open concept makes the room feel more genuine, grounded, and simplicity. Then there's a raised platform creating a sense of movement and progression as well. Instead of like entering a flat, static room, you step out on the platform, which adds an element of layer and depth. It gives the space a journey to follow. As you slowly move through the room, the platform leads you naturally to the vanity area as well, which drops down as you approach the window. For me, a good design is one that feels instinctive. You don't overthink it, you don't tweak it 100 times, you just know what is right. And sometimes the best design happens when you take risks. If a space feels like it was always meant to be that way, then you know you have done it right.